All right, gang. The attendance tonight was 18,287. Gate was 11.5 million. UFC now holds number 1, 2, and 3 highest gate record of all time in the Kaseya Center. Fight of the night was the main event. Logan Lopez. The performance of the night went to Paddy Pimblett. So,
first of all, we'll start with the main event. Incredible performance by both guys. Volkanovski, everyone's talking about his age, his chin. For him to come out and look basically as good as he ever has, give us your thoughts on his performance.
Yeah, I thought he looked incredible tonight. I don't ever remember Volk not having a good chin. He's really not that old.
Were you surprised at how many shots, big shots, Diego was able to take?
Yeah, fascinating thing. I'm sure a lot of moments he's had leading up to this fight, he could tonight in the major stuff like that.
Johnson was back here. He asked me to message us. His goal is to get married to us. Church, we have the offer to make you as a man.
So, he wants to marry his partner in the church.
And the offer to make you
I'm the best man if I make
pay for the things. Apparently there's some resiliency who wants that out of the church. There's this kid asking me.
I'm going to need more information on this, but probably.
There was no straight stuff. It's a level 3 that's for two different reasons. Obviously, the dedication and then the air
I didn't see that. I saw the game when they were getting up there. My room. And it's like, I agree that
Nunes made big waves saying that she was actually sprung backstage. Apparently, so she done a whole meter of Ken Harris. Did she tell you this ahead of time before?
no, Roscoe.
Obviously, everything will be signing. You guys have been talking about it for a long time. What are your plans with him? Because I thought he was going to fight Bozar. I guess he's not fighting Bozar. He's one big name, obviously. But he's fighting
They'll have other programming, other sports that they need to, they're already committed to.
Former Mr. Universe, Mike Mentzer.
Not at to certain times, seasons, and whatever it may be. It always changes.
Yeah, there's been the
It
various,
doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter.
right, there's been like the various, I guess, reporting out there from kind of like media reporting out and saying the price tag you guys are looking for is $1 billion a year. Is that something that would be?
Sounds good to me.
And the past 2 years, during this week, the international fight week headliner has been announced. You know, have that yet? Are you guys pretty close?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are excited to maybe see Hamza Chimaev in a title fight. Is there any chance he's being looked at?
Tuesday.
Get it right here. Michael Chandler's now 1-5 in his last 6, but he's always been exciting as a fan favorite. What do you make of his performance tonight?
And he's always in the fight. I mean, he's always in the fight. You know, tonight was a big night. guy from Paddy Pimblett. People, like we were just talking about, people have been doubting Paddy Pimblett every single fight he fights, and he's undefeated in the UFC. But Chandler's like our Arturo Gatti, man. Every time that guy goes in, you know you're in for a good fight. You know it's going to be a war.
Can you speak to the depth of the featherweight division? John Silva, we talk about his performance. He's not even ranked right now. We have Volk, we have Lopez, we have Yair. Like, this is a very stacked division.
Well, Silva he'll be ranked after tonight.
Definitely. Is this deeper than it's possibly ever been?
Yeah, I just feel like it all keeps getting better and better. Yeah.
Earlier this week, there was a news story that broke about the Ali Act potentially being amended by UFC TKO, amendment being sent in. Speculation ran wild as to what that could be. Can you talk to that a little bit?
I'd rather not. Thanks for asking.
Last question.
Yeah.
Do we have a date or a time here where when TKO boxing will launch?
Yeah, we still got a lot of work to do. I haven't even come up with a name yet. It's not going to be TKO Boxing this year. I think so. We're going to do that this week too. I got a lot of work to do before I really start talking about that.
David here, right? Just to follow up on the broadcasting rights, there's been a lot of speculation. Do you foresee pay-per-view sticking around, or are you open to the idea of maybe one of the platforms stepping up and saying we'll broadcast them all, do it away with pay-per-view?
Yeah, it's like what I said to him. It's usually we do with the network. What works for the network? What do they want to do? Do they want to just put it on their air? Do they want it on tape? I don't know. Do they want to put it behind a paywall? I don't know anything. Tuesday, the window opens. We start talking to the networks. Give them word of that.
And then Fernand Genderoba tonight, 5 wins in a row now, the last 2 against former title challengers. And of course, we don't know what's happening with Weili. Is there any update on that? Is the thinking that maybe Shevchenko is really going to have to wait? She was concerned about the division being held up.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't know right now, though. I'm not even thinking about that. But yes, huge win for her. Yeah. Yep.
Dana over here. Featherweight division's on fire right now. Obviously, has started by Jose Aldo. Conor McGregor's been here. Max Holloway. Now Volk just got his belt back. Who would you say is the featherweight GOAT?
That's so tough. The rankings are so good, you should probably have them do it.
Diner in the back of your mind.
You done with me? Yeah.
I had one more.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so The Ultimate Fighter Season 33 is coming out next month. What's the filming process been like, and has there been any drama? Are there any fighters that really excite you?
I don't know about any drama, but the fights are awesome. The fights have been awesome. Yeah. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, due to COVID and other reasons, Alex Volkanovski was never able to defend his belt at home. Now that he's the champ again, will you work with him to maybe let him have his first defense in Sydney, Australia?
I mean, everything's about timing and where we're planning on going this year already and all that stuff. But yes, we would love to do that for him.
That would be great. Good on you.
Thank you, sir.
Dana right here. You just mentioned the rankings and John Silva. Any update on when the new meta rankings will be out?
We're working on it. No.
Thank you.
Yeah. We just announced the deal. We don't have the rankings ready yet.
Dana,
Yeah.
Ilia Topuria recently said that he was promised a title shot.
Who did?
Ilia Topuria
Okay.
at 155. Is that the case, or what's next for him at 155?
We're working on it. We got a lot of shit to do. Yes, I mean obviously, he's one of the biggest stars of the company. If we had something in plan, we would have announced that already.
And is there any update on potentially taking the UFC to Spain? Obviously, you're mentioning something.
No, we're still working on that too.
Also, the UFC announced the booking of Animal Cap versus Brandon Royval, and a lot of people are thinking that maybe that opens the door for Brandon Moreno to fight Pantoja at UFC Guadalajara. Is that?
And you guys love to look deep into the future. I have no brother. We just finished this show tonight. I'm not even thinking about any of that stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dana, over here.
Yeah.
You blessed us with an amazing card in Miami. In the future, could we see Power Slap come to Miami as well?
100%. Yeah. Sooner than later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dana, one more question.
Yeah.
how do you feel about the Miami crowd and energy tonight? Did you feel they met the UFC standard?
Did what?
I said, how do you feel about the Miami crowd and energy tonight?
Incredible. And what was the rest of the question?
Did it meet the UFC standard?
Did it?
Did it beat the UFC?
Oh, shit, it was insane. Yeah, it was incredible. And again, I say this every time that I come here now. It's like Miami has turned into this incredible international destination. I didn't love Miami as much as everybody else did 15 years ago, 17 years ago, whatever, when we first came. Now, this city is off the charts. I mean, everywhere you go, it's buzzing. The restaurants are incredible. The shopping, this place has really turned into an incredible city over the last several years. And now we're 1, 2, and 3 here all time at the Kaseya Center, and the crowd, the fans, everybody. I mean, this is a place now. When we put on a fight here, we make sure that we build, a badass card, and people come from everywhere to Miami now to spend the weekend here. Can't say it enough. Go ahead.
I'm from Brazil. There's what's the plan for Brazil this year?
Yeah, we've been talking about. We're working on Brazil right now. We will be in Brazil and figure this thing out.
And how's Fight Pass Brazil going? Because I was a big supporter of it. It's awesome to be able to measure more fighters when they fight, how many subscriptions again and all that stuff. That's our key.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's where we're on TV in Brazil. So yeah, we're gonna keep on doing it. Yes.
Last one.
And thank you.
Plans for Power Slap in Brazil?
Yeah. Listen, I'm taking Power Slap everywhere too. It's gonna go everywhere. I'm sure. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Dan over here.
Yep.
So you mentioned Miami, and like 3 years in a row, it's just been outstanding here. And you've had President Trump hearing with the cabinet here tonight, some of his cabinet. Just what was that like? And just did it make it a little more challenging having him and the cabinet here, because it was a different situation from last year and the year before?
Well, when he first started coming, it made it challenging because we had never done it. Now it's a piece of cake. We work well together with Secret Service and law enforcement, and it goes pretty smooth. Other than some roads being shut down when people are trying to get here, but other than that, it's been very smooth. They're easy to work with, and he's such a huge fight man. He loves coming to the fight, so it's fun. I like when he comes.
And lastly, for me, just what has it been like? UFC has just been killing it. WWE is killing it. What's it been like with this TKO merger with you guys, and just everything just going great right now?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I agree with you. Everything is good right now, and yeah, it's been fun. We've been busy as hell. I've been home like 22 days since Christmas, but it's been good, really good. Thank you, sir. Hi.
I've got only one question.
Yep.
You guys have been bringing the UFC in Paris 3 years in a row. Every single time you came, the crowd went crazy. Maybe as the best in the world. Is it still the plan to come in September as you used to?
I think so. Yeah, you know what's crazy? I haven't been to Paris yet for a fight. I haven't made one of those fights, but he tells me it's amazing, and he says you have to come to the next Paris show. So yeah, the answer is yes, sir. We will be there this year.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, Dana. With the fight night coming up in Azerbaijan in June, how are you handling some of the recent risks that are coming up there? Some war threats regarding it. Could this affect fighter safety and event logistics?
I don't think so. Obviously, if there was anything that was incredibly dangerous, we wouldn't do it. But
if not that to be rebooked, could we rebook it for Boston?
I'm not even thinking about rebooking. Rebooking for Boston. We're gonna be going to Boston. We're doing it, and hopefully we can get to Boston this year too. I'll be there for the playoffs. Any other questions? Done? Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Former Mr. Universe, Mike.
go in there, have the performance you did. How happy are you feeling right now?
Yeah, man, hasn't probably settled in yet, to be quite honest. Looking forward to watching back the fight. I've got to just go through the phone and, obviously fight of the night. Everyone's pretty impressed with it. So, like, I feel like I could have done more out there. So I'm always my hardest critic. But everyone seems to be pretty happy. So I'll watch back and probably soak it up. But it's pretty cool, man. To come back and it's pretty crazy, really. So it just hasn't probably settled yet.
Having been out of the cage for a little bit of time, not that long, but to be out for a long time for you, what's the emotion going back in there, right? Coming off 2 losses, you're going in there, there's all these questions about you. As you're making the walk in the cage, is there even a doubt or confidence, or are you going in there being like, oh, no, it's time to remind myself to take a few minutes to get ready? What's going through your mind?
Look, just got a job to do. Even though I'm coming off the 2 losses, I didn't really care about that, going over there and just remembering what we want to do, what he's going to want to do, just stick to it, just remember a couple of the things that we worked on. That was going through my head. While I was in there, I felt like it was there to be hit. Like, I could have done a lot more. I could have done more, but I just wouldn't pull the trigger as much as I'd like. Even though there was shots where I could just stick out a jab and it was right there. I could have done probably a lot more. So I'm my hardest critic. I'll watch it back, and then we'll see. But obviously, everyone going to count you out. Is it done? Obviously I took some shots as well, so I didn't go lights out. So that's good. A lot of people probably thinking that's what would have happened. So I guess I'm glad I got to feel that and bounce back from a bit of adversity.
You said you could have done more. You did hit him a lot with big shots as well. Were you surprised?
No, I know I must not, because my hands bloody hurt. So it must have landed some big shots.
Were you surprised he was able to take some of those?
Yeah, even that first round, had the ground and pound, I was like, oh no, man, this is where I can get the finish. But he did a great job to stop the takedowns in the later rounds. But I just had to stay disciplined. As soon as I'll do a couple of mistakes, he was able to capitalise on it. When I would stay disciplined, I could make him miss and Teofoni, land some nice clean jabs and land some clean stuff. But just had to stay disciplined.
You mentioned he didn't capitalise on some mistakes. I think he dropped you in the second round. Proper buzzed, a little off balance. What were we feeling?
I can't remember which one it was that I just got me in the eye and I lost complete vision. That was 4th, the one. I couldn't see nothing. So that was the 4th. The other one, went down. I felt like I was there, like I knew what was going on, but obviously I went down. So it must have. Off balance, I don't know. Like I said, I'll watch it back. I felt fine, but I'll watch it back.
And last week, you've obviously spoken about it before the fight, and I'm sure it's going to keep coming up, but you've achieved so much, beaten so many legends of the sport already, but to become a 2-time undisputed featherweight champion, you said this would be the biggest achievement of your career. Now you sit up there, you said it hasn't soaked in, but to actually sit there and be like, wow, I am champion of the world again. How do you feel?
Good. It was funny. Before I went out, I was saying I promised, do my walk around the mat while I'm warming up. And I always say, there's no way that they're taking this away from my family. Is what I'd say, when I had the belt. And I'm like, and I sort of said that at the start today, while I was walking around. I was like, I promised my girls I'll bring the belt back, and then I'm like, it's not about bringing the belt back. Like I even said it in there, I go, well, it's not about bringing the belt back. It's about overcoming this adversity, these 2 losses, the break I had. A lot of people are going to think I'm done. You're 36 years old. That is more important. Me, showing my kids, what you could be capable of. People are counting you out. And I said to you all week, everyone has every right to count me out. Coming off 2 losses, big break, 36 years old, young, hungry, dangerous guy. And I told you, hey, I'm the guy to, you can definitely think that he's got very good run until I change your mind. Hopefully I changed your mind. And I think there's more of a message in all of that than just taking the ball back to the thing.
Absolutely. You talked about the amount of damage that Diego could take, but Dan Ige said that no, he's never faced anyone that hits as hard as Diego. That the power just felt different. Further was more like a thudding power. So when you were in there, you could see a little bit on your face, but how did the power?
More than a little bit. I guess so. I mean, he puts it all in, right? He really commits to his shots. That's why you can land on him too. You can capitalize on that. But if he lands on you, he's when someone holds a pattern like just give it a crack, like he's doing that every time he's swinging. So it's gonna hurt, right? He's gonna have some weight behind it. But he done a few stitches, a couple of stitches. He's looking on the arm, so he's done a great job. But at the same time, he's got a freaking hard head. In my hands, especially in that first round, like some round and pound, I'm like, finish this fight. But well managed straight away.
There were a couple other featherweight fights on this card. Yair got the big win over Pitbull, and John Silva had one of the better performances of his career. I'm curious, did you get to watch those, and what did you make of your fellow featherweights?
Yeah, I got to watch it. I'm always watching backstage, getting to watch the fights. Yair looked great. I was saying that, I'm like, people, you're talking about $1 million fight, and, all this stuff. I'm like, man, you've got a tough guy ahead of you, man. Just focus on that. You get a good performance, all right, you might get the shot. With Yair, I hear that he was saying get the title shot. Look, he's a good dude. I like him a lot. If the UFC want to give it to him, I ain't gonna stop I ain't gonna stop that for him. But I'll be honest. I did before that fight. I didn't think if he won, he would be getting shot. Like, I'll be honest, that didn't come to mind. But now that he's calling, like, I'm not going to be the one to say no. I'm going to leave everything to the UFC. Obviously, you've got guys like Mosbar, who's undefeated. I'd love to take that 0. You know what I mean? Like, we've got to see what the UFC say. I heard, I've seen him trying to get other fights. I don't know, is that right? Like,
there was rumors that he was going to fight.
But I even seen him tweeting that he wants to fight someone in May, doing all this sort of stuff. So maybe he's had the chats and they want him to have one more fight. I don't know. So I don't know that situation, but I'll see how things are. I'd love to say, I told you I want to get straight back in there. I still do, but I'm going to have to maybe look at a couple of things.
Yair seems to think you would go to Mexico to fight him in that big Guadalajara show in September. Is that something you'd be willing to do?
September. I mean, if everything's good, I'd probably like to go quicker than that, to be honest. That's probably the second fight. So maybe it could be, if I'm good, maybe I get the fight, maybe July. Mosvar, you know what I mean? You take if they want to do that, if they want to quickly go and I feel good, maybe quick turnaround for Mosvar if I do busted hands. We'll see. Like I said, that was my plans. Bang, 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 bang. But I didn't expect to get hit this much, so credit to fucking Diego.
You went viral on the internet for your reaction to the press conference when Diego and Yair were going. It's kind of it's obviously very confusing. Curious. How much did that catch you off guard? And now fans seem to think that that's the fight that should play out in Mexico. It caught me by surprise because they've trained together. I don't know if he was helping Yair in the fight for me. He was in camp, each other's camp. So, and then he's seen some footage, someone beat somebody up, 10 guys, something like that. So there's a bit of history there. So that caught me by surprise. At the start, I'm like, didn't really think too much of it, just chilling, laughing because they were pretty far apart. Then the second altercation, or the second argument, they were like, what, man? And I'm like, I need to fight this weekend, you know what I mean? I need someone in front of me so I can win that belt and bring it home. So I started making sure I might have to go and stop this fight, because they started getting closer. They were both look pretty heated, so I don't really know what's going on there.
I know it's been talked about many times over the years, like the featherweight GOAT discussion and where you fit in. I know you've kind of always deferred it to other people to talk about that, but with this win tonight, you now trail Jose Aldo by just one title fight victory. For so long, that record felt unattainable, right? If you can have the second title reign, get a defense, something he did not do you think that closes the discussion?
Again, that's not up to me. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I've got this new title reign. Put this, I'll just make it hard for people to not choose me, I guess, you know what I mean? But, so I'll just, it's not me, I'm not going to call for anything. Aldo's an absolute legend, he's done great things. I know I've done great things, I've fought absolute legends. The resume I have is pretty impressive. Same as Aldo's, but I mean, he's obviously had certain offences. I'd love to get that many. But yeah, having like 3 wins over Max and all that is just bloody. That's what something that I'm like. Do I need so many defenses? I don't know, but I will get the defenses and then we'll see. But again, Aldo, I don't like talking about it because I've got so much respect for Aldo, and I say he's the GOAT because of the respect I have, and I'll let other people choose who they need.
Fair play. I guess going off that, wanting to be active and everything, like, we know what your mentality is, right? Is it going to be on the people around you to, I guess, make sure that you execute your career as wisely as possible moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I'm not going to do anything too crazy. Obviously, the short notice, everyone's going to always get up before that short notice. I'll do it again. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. A lot of people are going to carry on, but that's who I am. And, this guy that challenges himself and, backs himself when, his back's against the wall and he's got, all the odds are stacked against him. I'm still trying to give it a crack, you know what I mean? And that same guy with that same mindset mentality turns up in the gym every single fucking day. You know what I mean? So if I'm not going to do that shit, I wouldn't be the champion I am. So I'm okay with it. A lot of people, there's no knock at all on my team for letting me do that. It was my decision. They backed me and let me do it because they know who I am and what I'm capable of. It didn't turn out, but like I said, that's just, I can be stubborn.
Just lastly, how much did you miss having that title sitting in front of you? Does it feel right?
I mean, to be honest, it's not about the title. It's not really that at all. But winning, staying on top, being successful, you know what I mean? Show it like this represents a lot more. Like all, in the gym, busting my ass, just sacrificing so much. What am I doing? Obviously, to be the best, this represents, which is great. But yeah, that just represents everything I've worked hard for. That's what it makes sense. So I don't look at it as like, oh yeah, the belt, like wow. I mean, it's just gonna sit in a closet like the other one, you know what I mean? But what it represents and what I've done is that's special. That's more special to me. Me taking this back to my family, friends. Maybe that's why it hasn't probably settled in. Because I want to soak it up with my family and friends and everybody back home. Because that means more to me. Because when I see all that, that's what really hits me. It's wrapped around me and I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. But I mean, it's so much more.
Well, I know you're willing to fight anybody, but ideally, what do you want? Like, is there one that you'd like to return and against who you think makes more sense?
In a month?
Yeah, like.
I mean, I don't think I'm even allowed. I think I've got a speech. Well, like I said, I've got to look at a few things, but I'll get X-rays. I'll have a look straight away. If everything's all good, cuts will heal pretty quick. Give me a couple of weeks and I'll be back at it. I'll still be doing stuff even when I get back home. Like I said, I'm a professional and disciplined. I'll keep working. I'll talk to the UFC. We'll see what happens.
And in terms of like what's left of your career, like is there things that you want to achieve, like a certain number of title fights, defending again in your country? Like, is there certain things that you have on your bucket list that you'd like to knock off?
I've just thought of the new title reign. So I know there was definitely a few title fight wins there. That's what I've always pictured. So there's I've still got a few more left in me.
And going into this fight, I don't know if you let your mind go there, but like if things didn't go your way, were you ready to walk away, or what would have happened? Did you ever let your mind wander as to what would have been next?
I guess I just didn't think of it like that. I guess I was just going to wait. If that was to happen, I would have seen where my head was at then. I was just always focusing on this new title reign.
Alex.
And I got that.
Alex, over here. Your good buddy Israel Adesanya, he won his second title in Miami. Did he give you any advice before this fight?
No, we didn't chat. He told me, look, man, we get each other. You know what I mean? Like he knows I bust some ass. He knows I'm putting the work in. He knows I'm gonna turn up. He was just like, you're gonna enjoy it. You know, he's more like you enjoy it, you enjoy the after party too, you know. But yeah, more like that. It was more them chats. He knows, like, you know, when I chat, he goes, I know what you do, you know what I mean, and means a lot. It makes, but me going back to his, I was over there for his last camp. It was unfortunate how that fight went, but my dad fired me up watching the way he was going through camp. You know, and obviously we are, you know, everyone wants to say we're at the back end of our career, and then for him to, you know, smash some of them training sessions like he did, that fired me up. You know, that was at the start of my camp, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep that energy going, and I did, and we got a hand race. So, mate, I didn't get a moment like easy. I mean, fuck, you know what I mean? That was now that's a fucking moment. But I mean, you know, fight of the night here in Miami. At least we still winning big over here.
Congrats. First of all, Alex, mate, just want to say congrats.
Thank you.
During the week, you mentioned that you've been so focused on your own journey on this comeback that you might not have fully grasped just how much it meant to other people. Just on behalf of myself and all the Aussies back home, mate, we are crying tears of joy today. So, yeah, just want to say thank you, mate.
That's what it's all about to me, and I think that's what I just don't think it's really reality's a hit too much. I think it's because it's not really about that. Like I said, I want to take it back to the family and friends, and it's so much bigger than me. It wasn't just me going like, yeah, we talk about the adversity, me having the break, but I'm representing a lot of people that can struggle and can bounce back. You know, a lot of people count them back. Not only count them out, they are. Or could you say down and out? I wouldn't say down and out, but they are like, you know, you have every right to think that I'm going to lose and I'm not coming back and I'm done. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of people in their lives that are down there, but through hard work and real commitment and doing what you're doing, you can still get there. And I think that means a lot more. There's a lot of kids and the younger generation that are probably watching this and are going to be inspired by this. So that hits me a lot more than just bringing that belt back. But at least this represents a lot, and I get to take it back to Australia, which means a lot to me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Paddy, I think, you know, there are people picking you to win this fight, but I don't know if anyone picked you to win it as decisively as you ended up doing so. I know you're your own critic, but I assume you have to be proud of that one.
Yeah, definitely. You know, game plan went perfect. Everything we've been saying in the gym up until this point worked. You know, everything we said we were going to do, we done, and it was brilliant. Like, I'm very happy with my performance.
As soon as you landed, I think it was a knee that blew his cheek open, right? Did you know, okay, beginning and the end here, right? There's very few fighters that can survive a shot like that and keep coming.
Yeah, they smell blood in the water, and I've got proper killer instinct. So, but the one thing I did do is obviously I ran at him and started putting it on him, and then we spoke about it beforehand. A wounded animal is the most dangerous one. And you've seen it with Chandler before, when he's hurt, he swings wild and he catches people, so I thought this is the time to take him down. This is the time to put him on his back and put a beating on him. And obviously I went for the submission at first, but after watching Charles fighting for 5 rounds, that's why Charles never got the finish. He was hunting a submission, and I just knew I could TKO him on the floor with ground and pound.
I assume there are probably times before this in your career that you would not have been that smart and made that choice. Is it cool to go in there and sort of after the fact be able to realise, wow, I can see my own growth, I'm seeing growth in fights with better IQ?
Yeah, I think I've got the best fight IQ in the game, other than John Jones. I think I've got the best fight IQ in the game. I don't think anyone's got better fight IQ than me, and I couldn't wait to throw a 12-6 elbow.
He pretty much goes with one of the best nut shots I've ever seen. You know, we spoke about, you said he was a dirty bastard in the cage. Reckon he did that on purpose, or was that?
I don't know what I mean. And as I say, I like Mike, he's a nice fella. He's very respectful and nice outside the cage, but when he gets in it, he hit me with about 4 punches in the back of the head in the first round. Know what I mean? Not even got said to, but you never know. He might have kicked me on purpose because he needed a little break. Everyone was questioning my cardio going into this fight, saying that I wouldn't be able to keep up a pace with Mike, and it was him that was gassing, not me. I felt fresh. So because of that, when he kicked me in the balls, it was a flush kick as well. It was me dick and my balls was still here when I said let's go. But as I say, I knew he was tired. I could see he was tired, so I was like, I'm not giving him this breather so he can get all his breath back and swing a big punch at me. I just got right back into the action.
He also landed, it has to be said, in the first round, pretty solid right hand on you. I suppose there's probably 3 words that can sum up why that didn't hurt you more, is there?
Scousers don't get knocked out, lad, you know that, but laddie, I think the calf kick I hit him with when he hit me with the right hand hurt him more than the right hand hit me. And we said this beforehand, he's gonna hit me, you know what I mean? But in a fight, he's gonna get me at one point. But my chin's never been cracked and it's never gonna. It's not gonna happen. They're like, it's just not. People can laugh at me all they want when I say I won't get knocked out, but I won't.
He wasn't the only fight he nearly got into tonight, though. We saw a video backstage with Bobby Covington.
Mr. Irrelevant, trying to stay relevant. The fucking whopper.
Yeah, what was that about?
Just to come over, start and chat shit, didn't he, lad? Because he seen there was a camera. Come over and start to say, oh, you fight scrubs. Like, lad, he said something about Chandler being 2-4 or something. Isn't he 2-4 in his last 6? Something like that. He's an absolute bum, lad. He's nearly 40. He's trying to stay relevant by jumping on me while there's a camera there. Well, not jumping on me, just talking shit. I seen him a power slap the other week and walked past him staring at him, and he just looked at the floor like the little pussy boy he is. When there's a camera there, he tries to say something. But he got terrored, you know what I mean? We all absolutely terrorised him. Got told to leg it. Tried to keep shouting. Got told to put on his shirt up the fucking wall.
Anyway, you know, when Michael, his stance is so heavy on his feet because he likes to explode in that straight line, and you seem to really compromise him early in that first round with those leg kicks. So you said, you know, Charles put the game plan out there, basically the perfect game plan. So was that the game plan, to just kind of kick his legs out from under him and tire him out?
It was part of the game plan, yeah, but at the same time we said don't want to kick too much because of what happened in the first round when I kicked him and he hit me with the right hand. So that's why I was pumping my jab out loads, using my jab, trying to use a lot of feints to get inside and catch him. Like, he didn't really get near me at all on the feet. Everyone was saying I'm going to get knocked out on the feet, and he nearly got knocked out on the feet, know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm very happy with the performance. I've done so many things in that fight, what we worked on in fight camp, and like stuff that I've done with Paul Ellis, Adam and my boxing coach Chris, all that sort of stuff. All the cardio work that I've done with my S&C coach Paul Reed come into play, because as I was saying before, I didn't feel tired one bit there, and Chandler was blowing out of his arse. So, like, I don't think I would have put on a much better performance, to be honest.
Dana was here and we asked him, you know, does Paddy get one more fight and then he's a title contender? And Dana said, well, this was a big win, so he could be a title contender right now. You named a few guys that you would want to fight. You also said you wouldn't mind fighting Charles Oliveira in Abu Dhabi. So is that the plan? One more fight, title shot for you?
I hope so. You know what I mean? I want to be a world champion. I've always said that I am going to be a world champion. And being a former champion like Charles Oliveira, who had 2 title defences, he gets called the best submission artist the UFC's ever seen. So I'd love to go up against that, because I think I've got better submissions than Charles Oliveira.
Last one for me. 1 year from now, do you think you have the UFC title?
I fucking hope so. 2026, lad, I want that belt wrapped around my waist.
Paddy, over here. When you see yourself fighting for the belt, which is obviously in the near future, who do you think you'll be fighting? Is it going to be Islam Makhachev?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I've seen stuff where Islam saying he might retire after a little defence or two, or if JDM beats Bilal, he'll move up and fight for the welterweight belt. So I have no idea. Obviously you train to fight the best, so I'm training at the minute to fight Islam Makhachev, but he might even be the champion by the time I get there. So we're just going to have to see what happens. You've got to let it all play out, haven't you? And whoever's in front of me, that's who I fight. Whoever the UFC send me a contract with their name on, that's who I fight. And that'll be whoever I fight next. Whoever the UFC send me a contract with their name on, I'll never turn a fight down.
And I gotta ask you, you took aim at all the big dogs of the division, right? But a lot of people are interested in seeing you and Ilia Topuria fight because there's a lot of history, right? There's a whole thing built into it. So I guess where does he fit, and like how do you see you two crossing paths? Because right now it just seems like, at least in the immediate future, he's not in your plan. Maybe I'm wrong. But I guess where does he fit in this whole picture?
To be honest, I forgot about him. I forgot all about him. All I would have mentioned him in the cage, you know what I mean? I don't call him man sanitizer boy anymore, he's now El Chorizo. But as I say, I literally forgot all about him. That's how relevant he is. I'm ranked higher than he is at lightweight. So, you know, I'd love to welcome him to 155. But apparently he's sitting out and waiting for the title shot. But you know, that what I've just done to Chandler's half the blueprint to beating him. He's even more of a midget than Chandler is. Like, I'll do the exact same thing to Ilia than what I've done to Chandler. But as I say, anyone can get it. All the names I mentioned. And even McGregor putting money on Chandler to win that. Like, the Irish Scouse connection, lad, he's meant to back me, and he never. So, if he wants it, he'll get Mufti as well.
That surprised you?
Yeah, I didn't think he'd go against me, like, to be honest. I thought he'd back me, lad. Not back Chandler, but one of them, innit?
Hey, Paddy over here. Obviously, Conor bet against you, but he was respectful in it. What do you plan on saying to him the next time you see him?
I don't know if I'll ever see him. You never know. I'll say to him, what happened there, lad? Fucking hell. The Irish Scouse connection, you meant to back me, but you went for the Yank instead. But, you know, it's one of them. If he ever wants to come back, I'll be awaiting.
Oh, and one more from me. You have such creative nicknames for your rivals like Colby Covington, Armin Sarukian. Could you tell me, were you always this good with your trash talk, or did it get better with time?
I went to an all-boys school in Liverpool, lad. So, you'd have to keep up with it, lad, or you were getting tethered yourself. So I'm used to it, know what I mean? Me and my mates are still a petty little firm and give each other shit every day in WhatsApp groups, lad. So, without the lads, I probably wouldn't have as many good shouts as I have.
You're here. Congrats on the win. You know, you always say that when you win, they move the goalposts, but given how dominant this performance was and how thoroughly you beat Chandler, like you said, in the cardio, physically, everywhere, do you think this is the performance that's going to silence some of those critics?
Probably not, lad. You know what I mean? Every fight I have, the goalposts get moved. It's one of them. I'm used to it. I said it before the fight. Once I beat him, people will be like, oh, he was 2-4 in the UFC, he's washed, he's 38. So, they'll probably say the same, but I don't give a flying fuck. I'm going to be ranked 7 on Monday, so suck a dick.
And then, you know, the cardio stood out. Is Fat Paddy gone for good?
I'd rather be fat and happy than ripped all the time like Michael Chandler, like, you know what I mean? Well, didn't pay off dividends for him there. Respect to Mike and that for staying in shape all year round, but I'd rather be chubby for a few months, lad, and then not get me head punched in than be ripped all year round.
I guess going off that, Paddy, I know like you got the twins and stuff, and I'm sure after a long camp you want to relax, but given all these possible big fights, do you need to keep yourself ready in case like a big time offer comes through, or are you pushing that timeline till October as you had mentioned previously?
Yeah, no, it's my baby's birthday, the twins' birthday's on Thursday. I'm going on holiday on Friday to celebrate, so yeah, I'm not fighting in the next couple of months. Like, I'll still be training every day like I always do, even when I get fat I train every day, you know what I mean? That's why I get so much better in these little times off what I have. That's why I've looked so much better since the Bobby Green fight, so much better since the Tony Ferguson fight, because I'm never out the gym, you know what I mean? Whether I put a couple of pounds on, I'm still never out the gym. People underestimate me for that reason. They think, oh, he gets fat so he doesn't train. No, I just eat loads of food and still train, you know what I mean? But as I say, I'm going on holiday. I'm going to enjoy my time with my kids. It's my wife's birthday next month. Liverpool are going to win the league, so there's a few things that I've got to do.
And I guess lastly, I know you said you don't care about getting your validation from the fans, but who do you think you could beat that would make you undeniable in that sense? Is it just beating the champion?
Yeah, I think people will move the goalposts with me up until I have that lightweight title wrapped around my waist. You know, if we're going to beat Charles, it'll be Charles old, you know what I mean? He's got so many losses. It's just one of them, like anyone. Put anyone in front of me and I'll smash your face in.
Hey, Paddy, I asked you on Wednesday at the media day about Patricio showing you something. Did you ever end up using that on the fight?
Yeah, that's hard. You know what I mean? It's weird, Chandler. But the thing was, he couldn't get near me to do what he done to Patricio. Him and Patricio were similar sizes. He couldn't really get near me to do it. But I think I did land one right hand over the top. No, where he goes like jab the body. It was the right hand over the top and bringing it down. I think I might have landed one of them in the fight. But as I say, Patricio and Chandler are a similar height. So it was easier for him to do that. Where I didn't let Chandler get near me. You know what I mean? I was keeping on the end of my kicks, the end of my jab. So I didn't really even let him initiate that jab the body to counter it. But I think I did hit him with one. I can't remember fully, but I think I did hit him with one or two.
I'm gonna ask this because I'm from Brazil and people in Brazil they had that thing between you and Renato Moicano.
Yeah.
That's all. Is this a fight that you still won? Now you're gonna be ahead of him on the rankings?
No, unlucky Renato. No, I'm ranked above him now, lad. Know what I mean? He's in the rear view mirror. He actually walked past me before when I was doing an interview and I went to shout him to say what's happening. But he walked past. I seen him on the broadcast though, shouting pin bitch, pin bitch. I love the way he says my name, lad. It's absolutely hilarious. Paddy pin bitch, Paddy pin bitch.
Easy money.
Yeah, easy money. But I think he knows after watching that fight, if he fought me, he'd bet on me.
Hey, thank you, man. Congrats on the win.
All good, people. See you in a bit. Any Scram Gap still open? Anyone know any food places still open? Fucking best be a Scram Gap open, you know.
Paddy.
What's up, guys?
Jay. First of all, nice suit. Congratulations on the victory. I'm curious, did you see, is this fight play out the way you expected? Because I think even the broadcast team was a little caught off guard by how tentative that Pitbull was, and then you started to pick it up later. But it seems like maybe the bright lights got to him in the first round, and then later rounds he started picking it up.
It didn't play out exactly the way I wanted, because the way that I was picturing it in my head was winning by KO in the first round. You guys saw one head kick that I really completely landed. I think I didn't get it like with full power, because it was like way too short distance from me, so I couldn't really develop the full power of the kick. But I was practicing on that kick a lot, and it was landing on everybody and on the kick, and I was able to land it here, where unfortunately I wasn't able to come out with the KO as I wanted, but we still were able to come out with the nice one.
Obviously, in all of your fights, it's very kick heavy, but this fight in particular, it seems like almost every strike was that high kick or kick to the body. Was this the game plan to just rely heavily on those kicks, or during the fight you just realized like he doesn't really have anything for this, we're going to keep using this?
He was really calm and collected there. He wanted to stay first, and my coach did the job. He reminded me to not do the mistake. He wanted me to go in first, you know, so to drag me in, so he will attack me over the top. He wanted to attack me over the top of my jab, and he wanted to do that heavy right hand. I wasn't able to do that because I was able to completely stay in his distance.
I saw you bow to him at the end of the fight once the last bell rang, and then you guys hugged and spoke for a little bit. What did you guys tell each other?
You know, I always respect my opponent, so I told him, hey man, I think you have a really bright future on the UFC. I respect you, you're a warrior. God bless you, and I wish you all the best.
And I mean, you made it known you made a lot of changes in your life for this camp. You said you were taking this camp very seriously. So like physically, how did you feel in there? Did you feel you performed at your, like how you should have been performing all these years?
Wow, bro, like honestly I feel way better than ever before, you know. Actually, if you like, you have to go and look at my resume. The UFC has a tendency of like always putting me into fighting like high elevation places. Denver, Salt Lake City, Mexico, and you know, main events. So this one being a three round fight in sea level, wow.
Obviously, you said you promised maybe a title shot. You wanted that in Guadalajara. How confident are you that you can get Volkanovski to go to Mexico to fight?
Brother, Volkanovski has fight like all over around the world. He has a fight in Mexico. Guadalajara is not super high elevation. I think it makes sense for the UFC to do a huge event, offer the event in Guadalajara. And I think Volkanovski will be able to like run back.
What did you make of the main event between Volkanovski and Diego?
Fuck man, I wish I could like tell you better. I was able to kind of look in between interviews, because I was doing an interview and I was like kind of looking, and I was just trying to put attention to the fight while I was doing the interviews. I will have to go and like really like look, but it looked like a really fun and interesting fight. Both of the guys were doing like a good job. Obviously, Volkanovski got the better side of it, and it was to come out to be.
And just last one for me. I have to ask. A lot of fans, they want to see you fight Diego now after that press conference. I'm curious, what's the issue there, and if you don't get Volkanovski, is a matchup with Diego in Mexico. Is that the biggest fight, that maybe even bigger than a title fight at this point in the eyes of the fans?
Yeah, and the eyes of the fans, of course. But if you ask me, if you're in my position right now, the beef can stay aside for now. The only thing that I'm looking for right now is fighting for that belt. What happened? I think when the moment comes, we'll talk more about it. But for now, you want to focus on the title fight. It's like against the current champ Alexander Volkanovski in a rematch, and I want to do that. But
just one more to follow up on the Diego situation. You don't have to tell us exactly what the issue is, but is it a serious beef that has to be resolved at some point, that you will have to have a fight here before the end of your career?
Yeah, I think it will have to happen at some point. You know, I actually talked to my friend Marco Beltran, and I told him, I got you. I got it. I'll make sure at some point, whenever I have the chance to fight an amateur, I got it for you. You know, I didn't want to do, as you guys see, like we were able to like take pictures together. I was able to play for as long as I could keep it. You know, but the guy was trying to be respectful in the press conference. You know, like trying to like, oh, how many losses does he have? You know, like kind of like attacking me like that. That's it.
Okay, just if you don't mind, what exactly happened between you and Diego Lopez? Like, why is there an issue between the two, and how is Marco? I know Marco and him fought in Mexico, but is there something more to that?
Yeah, there is more to that, 100%. But I think the proper person to tell you that is Lorenzo. I think.
Premature Southern Eroxine, set B, combining Latin small letter O, FA, combining plus sign below, first on streamboot.com, remove the space at G5GCTS8V.
Special Hi there. I just wanted to see. I placed an order online and nothing ended up fitting, and I wanted to know if I could do the return or the exchange at the store. Sorry? No. I have everything. I'm just saying nothing ended up fitting. Okay. What do I need when I bring it in? Okay, so I just come in with the clothes and then just give it to you guys in the order number? Oh, okay, awesome. And what time are you guys closed today? 6. And okay, that this is the Sherway location. Okay, thanks. All right, thanks. Take care.